Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you all for coming out this evening. Please put your hands together for I Drumlink. Come again?
And his assistant.
Oh, so you're trying to say you don't really work with him? You were co-opted in the effort. Thank you for your dedication. My name is Ewan MacDonald. I'm tremendously honored to have been asked to be part of this evening's exercise, a literary salon, jewelry and art exhibit. A whole heap of things are going on at the Consulate. For those of you who may not be aware, the first graphic will somehow give information. This year, 2017, will mark the 55th anniversary of Jamaica's political independence. So, yes, you can clap Jamaica. So we're tremendously pleased that the Consulate saw fit to have this as one-off, if not the first event, to start a conversation of Jamaica, the Jamaican diaspora, and what we offer to our communities, both here and abroad, and the tremendous vitality of our people. And this evening, starting off with our artists. I'm going to call on Miss... Every time I have to call this a name, I may mix it up. Bailey Magalhaes, who is going to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Justice, truth be ours forever, Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all, stir response to duty's call, strengthen us the weak to cherish, give us vision lest we perish, knowledge send us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Yeah, you can clap her. And to help us all, the pronunciation of your name is?
Yona Bailey Magalhaes.
Okay. Okay. I got the Bailey part right. I'm going to call on Miss Diane Wilson to offer the invocation.
Good evening, everyone. As we bow our head in reverence. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, I come before you to give you praise and thanks, dear God, in this a tremendous evening, a day that you have made. Heavenly Father, I pray, divine God, that you will continue to bless this evening. I pray, divine God, that you continue to impart your blessings upon us. Thank you for the gift of our heart. Thank you, divine God, for the gift of love. Thank you for the gift of peace and nature, divine God, that we can express ourselves, divine God, in such a rich way, divine God, whether it be through our moods, divine God. We just give you praise, divine God, because you have imparted your gift on us. And so for this evening proceedings, divine God, I ask you for your continual blessing. I pray you bless those who are coming and those who will be leaving from this time forth and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have a rather rich program this evening, and before I turn it over to our host, I'm always tickled when people are singing the national anthem. How many people saw our tremendous display at the Olympics this past summer? And almost every medal presentation. I am reminded by the 400-meter winner when the anthem was playing, and the one part nobody in here sang. So after he said Jamaica, he must say Budum. Yeah. Madam Consul General was here before, go back and come back again. Trudy Deans is Jamaica's official representative to the New York area, covering what, 40 of the states?
33.
33. Enough state, including Bermuda, Puerto Rico. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Consul General of Jamaica in New York, the Honorable Trudy Deans.
Thank you, Ewan. Please don't steal my glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm so happy you're all here today. You've braved the weather, and I was a bit worried when I saw the weather forecast last night. But I'm happy you're all here. Again, welcome to the Consulate General and to this evening's presentation and reception of our kickoff event in celebration of and recognition of our nation's 55th anniversary of independence. Let me extend a very warm welcome to you, our guests, and in particular, all the participants in this evening's event. Mr. Victor Blois. Mr. Blois, where are you? Please stand so everybody can see you. Miss Stacy Enchin. Miss Gianna Fakuri. Dr. Winston Huggins. Mr. Jeremiah McFarlane. Miss Dion Peart. Dr. Carleen Richardson. And Miss Tilsa Wright. Can we give them a round of applause, please? 55 years in the life of our island nation is indeed a short time, but yet we have a lot to celebrate. This year's national theme is celebrating Jamaicans at home and abroad. Jamaicans at home and abroad have made significant strides in a wide variety of professions and occupations. Many with notable accomplishments are here this evening. Many are also in your network of friends and family. So therefore, let us seek to identify and celebrate that which is positive, that which is good, thus creating an island home where we are always proud to identify with. So ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, this is just the first event of a series of events that you'll be invited to for Jamaica 55. As I do not represent New York only, the launch of Jamaica 55 will be in Philadelphia this year, and we will be doing it at the Pen Relays. So you're all invited to come at the Pen Relays, because I can't be selfish and keep everything for for New York. So on behalf of the Prime Minister, the government of Jamaica, and the staff of the Consulate. And I'd like to single-handedly thank Aretha Blake. Aretha, where are you? And Sodrain Gordon, who planned this entire event, and I'm going to ask you to give them a round of applause. So welcome, enjoy, and it's obviously this is going to be my theme until I'm here. Welcome to the Consulate, your home away from home. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Deans. So, those of you who are not able to go to the Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania Carnival, will not get left. This is as much of a launch as you will be getting until the ball in the summer. But please do, if you can, and I would imagine the information will be going out periodically on the consular events, and hopefully there is a mechanism for community events to also be funneled out. All right, so we have a big program, and you have gotten a rundown of all the participants, so we won't call them the royal conquer. Me and Jeremiah go way back. I drum links. Jeremiah used to drum with National Dance Theatre Company when they performed this past March. Okay, so you still get work. An excellent musician. He's far older than I am, no matter how you go on. We're going to call on, and I'm very pleased about this, I'm going to call on one of our writers. Yes, we write book too. And I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing other writers that are not part of the proceedings, but it speaks to the fact that contrary to what we have been told by many, that we are an oral society. Yes, we tell good story, but we also write them down so other people can learn them until then too. And this tradition has been a part of us from before that section of our history called slavery. Through the modern era, I must applaud the government's decision to award Lorna Goodison as Jamaica's third poet laureate and first woman in that position. Lorna is good people. And I'm now going to call on somebody who walking in her tradition. Carleen Richardson is a woman's advocate, and she's founder and president of the forum, the From Gutter to Glory project, an initiative aimed at providing mentorship for high school seniors nationally and internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Carleen Richardson.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am truly humbled. I came from Jamaica when I was 13 years old. My mom gave me over to my grandmother when I was about 8 months old. And so I always wanted to know what it was like to live with my mom. She came here and no one told me that it was possible to get a visa by yourself without parents, but instead of going to Camperdown High School one morning, I decided to go to the U.S. Embassy and I got a 1-month visa. I came up and then I went back and I tried again at 15 and I got a 10-year. All by myself. No one told me it was possible, but you never know what's possible until you try. And when I came here, my mom had already remarried. We lived in a very small apartment, about this size of the room, this side. And it was a kitchenette, and a kitchenette is a bathroom, the master bedroom, and another room. The other room held the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen, and my bedroom in the day In the night, I would pull out the bed, and in the day, I would put it back. And she would send me out as long as I came back by 12 a.m. because I guess she wanted to spend time, blink, blink, with her husband, huh? She introduced me to her friends' daughters. I had no friends here, so to get me socializing, she introduced me to her friends' daughters, one of whom set me up, and I was raped. I found out I was pregnant. I didn't know about the word abortion. I'm glad I didn't, because as self-righteous as I may think I am today, I don't know what my options would have been. My mom, being the Jamaican that she is, didn't ask who, what, where, when, why, or how. She just told me I had to go. But she took me back in because I helped her with my younger brother. I started Camperdown High School when I was 10. And so I had so many dreams, hopes, military. I wanted to do it all. Babysitting wasn't a part of that plan. So when my daughter was 8 months old, she told us we had to go. She only had space for one. Didn't have a green card. I have a green card now, though. Don't tell Trump. And I couldn't get a job. We didn't have cell phones like we do now. So didn't have a job. We lived on the A train for about 3 months, taking showers at my friend's home and her godmother's home. Ironically, she was also my mom's friend, one of her friends. She realized that we were homeless and took us in, but she asked me to leave shortly after because of something my mom said. And please know that my mom and I are very best friends today. And she passed me over to my dad's cousin, who gave us a partially abandoned building to live in, 227 Monroe. It had a big gaping hole. I call it my skyline. And no kitchen. But the Jamaican in me was creative. I would hang that meat through the window in the winter and hold it down with the window. Sometimes in life you have to create those doors for yourself. And I would beg on the corners for quarters. That's how I fed my daughter, and buy her diapers and chicken liver. Little did I know that was the very best source of iron. I would feed her first. Whatever she left, that would be my dinner. Some days I didn't have anything, and some days the hunger was real. There was one particular day when the hunger got really real, and I journeyed to the basement where the men were who were the construction workers in the day. I looked for something that they may have left, but they hadn't. But as I exited the room, I noticed in the garbage there were foil containers, and I took it out, picked the bones apart, put it together, and that became my dinner. That was my aha moment whenever I became very hungry. That's what I ate. They had curried goat one day. I'm a real Jamaican, contrary to what my son says, but I hate spice. So I was searching for something to drink, and I found a bottle of soda perched against the windowsill. I drank it, and it was Pine Sol. And what my life had become became very apparent. I was given everything in Jamaica. I was pampered by my grandparents. I wanted nothing. So here I was, not really knowing how to survive. And I'd like to say something really quick from my book. He started removing my clothes. Something from my clothes bruised my lips as it passed above my head. Intent on getting his way, he ignored my groan from the pain. Then with one hand he unhooked my bra and explored my womanliness. I felt ashamed and embarrassed. He was seeing me half naked. Then, as if he read my mind, he pulled my underwear from my body. I fought as hard as I could, but he insisted on getting his way. I was totally naked. I was naked in front of a man. Oh my God. I just wanted to leave something with you before I go. there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. You just have to set your mind to it and never look back. Thanks so much for having me.
And I'm sure you can do far better than that. Please put your hands together for Dr. Carly Richardson. Am I correct? The title of the book is also From Gutter to Glory?
It is.
Okay. All right, cool. And copies are available outside.
Copies are.
All right. The program. The program is both literary and visual. Who is Winston Huggins? Okay, Dr. Winston Huggins. You know, all this time we never know he is a feed. Dr. Winston Huggins is a graduate of the University of New York. And your work is where? You're in that corner. Okay. Walk fast. Come here. Could you come here quickly, please? And just briefly, just tell us something about because your thing. What kind of paint that?
Well, actually, it's mixed media.
Mixed media.
Yes.
Okay.
It includes acrylics,
Okay.
ink, and in some cases watercolor,
Okay.
pastels.
All right. And there are pieces available for sale here this
Oh yes,
evening?
definitely. And we have super affordable.
No.
cards.
No. Tell them how super it is. But,
So we have to.
but work is available for sale.
Yes.
Because one of the things that we constantly, Jamaica, we're talented bad. Everybody can sing and dance and shake and do a thing. But we're not always cognizant of the fact that artists have to eat too. That their time, their talent also requires treasure. And your investment here this evening, especially like how Raina Fall, means that you're interested in the work generally. But we also need you to be investors as well as ambassadors of our culture. Okay? So we know say when we're not done, one is going to buy book and buy painting and mixed media singing.
And note cards.
And who are?
Note cards.
Note cards.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And actually, while I'm here. And
No, but me I send you back.
Yeah, no, I'm not going back.
Okay.
But we have there's an Easy Pal, which is an easel palette, which is it's an invention. This is basically for art parties. So if people want to do art parties, we have Easy Pal, which is a portable studio.
Okay.
Everybody can paint their paintings within 2.5 hours,
Okay.
and they feel very good about it.
Awesome.
Right,
Okay.
so you could check.
Please.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we have Easy Pal. Nothing polite came to mind when you said that. So I'm glad he explained what Easy Pal is and the art party that is associated with. I'm now going to call on Miss Dion Peart. Okay, Miss Peart is one more of our writers, and the program mix up, so I don't know which part it is. Oh, so she was born in England, grew up in Canada, and is now practicing law in DC. Somebody must have followed you. And she is a literacy ambassador for Read Across Jamaica Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Dion Peart.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So I style myself as an attorney by day and a writer by early day. That's the only way it's going to get done. I write fiction that is set in the Caribbean or featuring Caribbean characters. I think identity is so important, and so I'm always drawn to stories, international fiction, but particularly the Caribbean. I have 2 novels out. The first is Somerset Grove, and the second one is Butterfly. Butterfly is a story about a woman in personal and professional transition. She is an attorney in private practice, and she decides to make some changes. She's also always lived in the shadow of her best friend. And so she decides to go into white-collar crime prosecution, and as her professional life starts to come together, her personal life starts to fall apart, particularly her relationship with her best friend, and she discovers something about her best friend that could derail her career and her friendship. Somerset Grove is my first novel. I started writing when I was in private practice, and it's a multi-generational story about a family of 3 Jamaican women. It's based partially in Jamaica and partially in Canada. And the characters each dream of leaving their small town existence, but each runs into problems at fulfilling her dreams. The first character that you meet in the book is Angelique Wright, and she is a savvy 16-year-old, and it is 1967, and she feels she is too cosmopolitan for her small town existence, and she would love nothing better than to get away from her controlling mother, Ruby, who is the second character that you meet in the book. She is very authoritarian, very prideful, and her biggest concern is that no one do anything to bring any shame to the family, particularly Angelique, and so they butt heads a lot. Her story really begins in 19. The character that you meet is Carmen. She's Angelique's daughter, and she is that child that was left behind in Jamaica while her mother went to Canada to start a new life. They are eventually reunited, and they have the usual mother-daughter conflicts trying to reestablish a relationship. The excerpt I'm going to read from is actually from Ruby's story, and it'll kind of give you some insight into how she becomes the prideful and authoritarian person that she is. At this point in the story, she has married a man who had different motives than her, and she feels tricked and betrayed, and she finds herself in a situation and decides to do something very drastic to get out of it. Spring 1949. Ruby eventually got up, but not on her own. After several attempts to coax her out of bed, Ingrid finally grew tired of her daughter pining away over that worthless husband. "I said to get up!" Ingrid unceremoniously ripped off the bedspread that Ruby had buried herself under and yanked her daughter into a sitting position. Ruby sat listlessly on the edge of the mattress, looking down at her feet. She had lain in bed so long, she had lost track of the days. She pinched her face, signaling she was getting ready to cry. "Stop it!" Ingrid planted herself in front of Ruby and shook her finger in front of her daughter's face. "Enough with the moping and crying. You think he's fretting over you or that baby?" Ingrid pointed at Ruby's stomach. "It's time you get yourself together and figure out what you're going to do. I don't care what it is, but you're not going to be lying around here crying over some bloody man." Ingrid pulled Ruby into a standing position, then removed the bedding from the bed before marching out of the room, mumbling, "Not in my house." Ruby decided to do something. She bathed, dressed, and walked deep into the bush behind their home, until she came across that old gray-haired man that mothers always warn their children to stay away from. The Obia man eyed Ruby's blossoming form and her red puffy eyes and told her he knew why she had come. She stood looking at him, not saying a word, but letting her eyes tell everything. His eyes responded, "Are you sure?" She nodded slowly. He moved about his little hut, examining herbs and pulling together a small satchel for her. A little of this herb, a little of that one, until he had the right blend. Finally, he handed the mixture to her and gave her instructions on how to make the tea and when to drink it. She paid him the money and retraced her steps back down the hill and through the bush. When she came through the last thicket of trees into the yard, Ingrid was there, laying white clothing on the rocks to bleach out in the sun. She stopped working and looked at Ruby suspiciously. "Where have you been?" I went for a walk, Ruby said, avoiding her mother's eyes. Where? Ruby shifted her stance. Nowhere in particular, just around. I'm going inside the house. Ruby walked hurriedly through the back door as Ingrid's eyes followed her. Once inside, Ruby looked around for a safe place to hide the satchel of herbs. She went into the bedroom and retrieved one of her shoes from underneath the dresser, carefully tucking the satchel in the toe before replacing it beside its mate. She then went into the front room and made herself busy folding the laundry that Ingrid had started ironing. Ingrid came in and announced she would be leaving for work soon, and instructed Ruby to turn over the sheets she had laid out in a couple of hours so that the other side could also bleach. Ruby nodded and quickly answered yes. Ingrid packed her lunch and headed out the door, mumbling that she was already late. Ruby watched her mother disappear up the road and then waited for a while until she was sure her mother would have arrived at work and would not be permitted to leave. Ruby put a pot of water on to boil and retrieved the satchel. She steeped the herbs in a cup, then sat down at the tiny kitchen table with the brew, waiting for it to cool. The inky black liquid filled her nose with an unpleasant aroma, and she sat, mesmerized, wondering if she could bring herself to swallow it.
And we will find out when you buy the book. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Dion Pierce. No, you can do far better than that. Please put your hands together for the lady. The book is called Somerset Grove, and we'll talk more about it afterwards. Yes, allow me with no drinks and tea and boozum. Wendy, Victor Blois. Mr. Blois, could you come forward, please? Your work is primarily, I'm assuming, on that corner, and where else?
Well, they're all around. Anything that is not...
if it's not theme, it's field. Okay, all right. And could you just tell us something about the work?
The work is visual.
Okay. Apparently, this is the one who should have the feed.
I'm a visual artist.
Okay.
You know, so I speak to you through the visual medium.
Okay.
It's a visual language.
Okay. And in his case, he had oil and tinting and mixed media tinting,
Yes.
And you is what?
Primarily acrylics and mixed media on canvas.
Okay. What is this mixed media thing? For those of us
Mixed
who
media
don't.
means that it might be acrylic and oils or
Okay.
pastels or various medium composed together to create one piece.
Okay. And this acrylic thing is the same like house paint acrylic or?
Definitely.
Oh, okay. So a cheap house paint that's going to use,
wait a minute.
and then sell it for $1 million.
No. When it's house paint, it's not called acrylics.
Oh, when it's on the
It's
house.
called latex.
Oh, so when it's on the house, it's latex paint, and when it's on that, it's called acrylic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Everybody.
So if you painted my house with that paint,
Millions of dollars.
oh, so my house is automatically acrylic at that
Yes.
point. Okay, all right. Okay, Bandulo. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Victor Blois. Our next writer is Telsa Wright. And they mix up the program and we can't find which part you're sitting there. Miss Wright? Oh, yes, Miss Wright is not just a writer, you're also a filmmaker. Oh, okay, no, make it sound small. You know, big up yourself, sweetheart. You're a filmmaker.
Yes.
Yes?
You're a filmmaker.
You make it sound like me I push you for cut on filmmaker. Me not you no money if you make film. But she is with us this evening, and her book is Lady in Red. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Telsa Wright.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. It's such a great way to end Women's History Month, isn't it? Lady in Red was inspired for all the Keishas who are in basically the stigmatism of the street life and trying to find their way out. I'll be reading from chapter 4, titled Bedroom Bully, page 31. No, it's very censored. Here comes another why. Why my mother never listened to Auntie B when she came to America. Well, at least the second time around, or even after having me. Mama is a real hardhead. My brothers and I, even Roberta could have had a better opportunity to make sense of our lives. Instead, we made absolute nonsense. The buck stops here, with me. I intend to change this loser cycle. It will be upward from here on. Now, just to explain this excerpt, Keisha had to run from Brooklyn and was heading back to the Bronx, where she met her mother's side of family who were more progressive. You know, the Jamaicans would open up restaurants and hair salon. She was mostly in Brooklyn doing the drug life. So now she's in the Bronx and getting a job with her cousin to be a hair assistant. So this is why she's asking herself why her mom wasn't more progressive. And I'm going to read another excerpt from chapter 10, titled Eggs Well Done. Sister Morgan, pass me the camphor and white oil quickly. Brother Dijon yelled as he was about to anoint my stomach. All this oil rubbed on was getting on my last nerves. I mean, I had to go to the Bronx like a thief in the night for this spiritual emergency. Now, how did I get here? I went to bed around 9 p.m. after eating Mother's Escabeche Fish and Festival, our usual Friday night special. I was tired from just laying around listening to Mother and her stories. She talked about life in Jamaica, music, having me, loving me, and her daily soaps. My mind was all jumbled up with imagination of different scenes and expectations as I tried to make some notes as she spoke. The strangest thing happened. It was as though I was in a movie, but in actuality I was dreaming. In a dream I saw myself dressed in red as usual. There was this black man who was also dressed in red with African material. He yelled at me, "Count from here!" He yelled at me and pointed to a set of small stones placed on a red and white zebra print cloth that gradually became larger as I counted higher in numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I counted as I was instructed to. However, when I got to 9, there wasn't any more stone. And a matter of fact, that place on the cloth was empty, but he was pointing to it. He then said, "Open your right hand." When I opened the palm of my hand, he placed an egg, a white egg to be correct. It was sacred. Never had a dream. It was scared. I was scared. Never had a dream woke me up. Never woken from a dream feeling so bothered. I asked myself why a mean-looking man would talk or even yell at me like that. I woke Mother and she said nothing more than to get dressed. So I did, and the next thing I knew, we were on the FDR heading to the Bronx. "Sister Morgan, hurry now. Move fast. This child took too long to come. Now Shanga have her tie up." What is to be will be, Kiki. Many are called, however few are chosen. Brother Dijon rubbing my back, my belly, and humming something weird. Sister Morgan began catching some fever or spirit. Man, these Obia people really work some magic with my body. Thanks to Mother Hen. You should have seen Brother Dijon head tie up in green African, like an African lady on 125th Street in Harlem. He had cow shells and beads around his neck. The pipe he was smoking had herbs, not marijuana, but some sweet herbs. Sister Morgan then wrapped my waist with pink and blue material and instructed me to wear it for 9 days. "Kiki, if you cannot get the mother, then you'll take the child," Brother Dijon said in his Trinidadian voice. disturbing tone, one that was serious, in a disturbing tone, one that was serious as if to mean life or death. Whatever the case, these people need to talk straight. I don't understand one blasted thing they're either saying or doing to me. In this chapter, this is how Keisha finds out that she's pregnant. The reason why she's at Brother Dijon, he's an Orisha Baba. And Keisha, the main character, she wears red because of Shango, as I said before. And his color is primarily red for protection. So, where is my MC? That's pretty much it. And, oh yeah, I have copies available.
But please do put your hands together for Miss Dion. No, Miss Telsa Wright. Okay, so we're gonna break the program kinda and go back to where we literally started. I'm gonna ask Jeremiah McFarlane to do his cultural drum presentation. We don't know what that really means, but I drum link. All right. Okay, and he's being accompanied by the free labor over there. by Drumlin and Associates. No, but then I not pay attention to the associate part, you know.
These are young apprentices.
Oh, young apprentice. So it's associate and young apprentice. Okay, alright. I won't ask who is who and which is which, but good. Alright, our next artist is Gianna Fakori. Gianna. Apparently she is the only artist we have that actually came up from Jamaica for this evening's program. She holds a bachelor's in fashion merchandising from the Miami International University and a master's in fashion marketing from the prestigious Polymoda.
Yes.
Oh, why that? This is
Well, if we were to break it down, it means all fashion, polymoda, multiple fashion forms.
but it's not English.
No,
Where is it?
it's Italian.
Okay. And you're Jamaican.
Located in Florence, yes.
And you studied there.
Yes.
And you're faculty presently at Edna Manley College for Visual and Performing Arts.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And your art form is
Jewelry,
jewelry.
yes.
Oh, this is it.
This is it.
Okay.
I mean, I have other pieces as well.
Well, I would hope so. You would have weird your entire exhibition on your whole hand, but
I mean,
okay.
but I try sometimes.
But okay. And what are they made from?
I have them made of.
Hold it up like Vanna White. Yes. What are they made from?
Okay, well, these are my hand are made from jade and kyanite and citrine and labradorite. So these are all natural gemstones.
Okay.
The money bracelet.
Okay, so I have the kyanite, and it's said to attract money. And you know, it's one of those things.
Hold on. So we have to read right about how they goes on, man.
So hold on.
And then you have money tracking thing.
I have them attracting all to me.
Okay, so.
Okay, so the thing about kyanite is I used to always just tell people, you know, this is what they say.
Okay.
I don't guarantee anything.
Okay.
I like the stone because it's pretty.
Okay.
And all of that.
However.
Full disclaimer,
However.
right? However, I just get so many testimonials
Of other people getting money.
of them getting money that now I'm just like, yes, it attracts money. You want to turn them?
Okay, so the question is, have you been able to prove it for yourself?
Well, obviously, I'm still in that business.
I hear that. Ladies and gentlemen, Gianna Fakori, faculty member of Edna Manley School of Visual and Performing Arts, College of Visual and Performing Arts. Our next writer, and we have to go back at the front, we go back at the back. Yeah, I'm going short, as short as. Yes, and the bio long. But unlike the others, Miss Stacey Ann Chin is a poet, not fiction writer, among other things. Okay, so she's a poet among other things, and also playwright. Oh, you know, I want to tell them about the show. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we get fired by the work. Ladies and gentlemen, Stacey Ann Chin.
So I actually was listening. I was listening to your Dr. Carleen. I was listening to your piece and thinking that I'm gonna read this piece about being in Jamaica. My mother left me there when I was born, because of course you have to run come a foreign, come try a thing and get a new life, and left 2 children back at home, and left me with an aunt who probably felt very burdened by the fact that she was herself poor.
Barrel picking them.
And yeah, well, we wasn't the barrel picking them because we never get no barrel. You know, you have 2 kind of children who are left behind: those who get the things and those who don't. And my brother and I were 2 of those children. So my Aunt June is vexed and upset that she really have to deal with us. And my aunt is also the teacher at school. And I have just been pulled out of, let me just take me from country, where I was going to a basic school, where the teacher was Mrs. And now I'm in a proper school, a proper Betheltown all-age school, you know what I mean? And I have to behave like I'm in school, not just like hanging on to Mrs. Taylor at basic school. So this is my first day of school. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I must start it from. During roll call, Aunt June calls out the names of the children in the class. Each student has to say, "Present, Miss Jennings." I forget and I say, "Present, Aunt June." Stacey, you have to learn to follow the rules, you know. Here I am your teacher, not your aunt. In this room I am Mrs. Jennings. So make sure I don't have to pull out that belt for you to remember. My face gets hot and I say, yes, Miss Jennings. During the story hour we read Goldilocks. Remember how we used to read all them Goldilocks with all them little blue-eyed blonde children? Aunt June writes words from the story on the blackboard. She calls on different children to say different words. When she calls on me, I take my time and I try my best to sound out the words like Mrs. taught me at the other school. Rig. Stacey, and we do not have all day. Look at the words and tell me what it is. Oh, I know what it is, Aunt June. I know what it is. It's porridge. It's porridge. What in the world is porridge? There is no A in porridge. The word is porridge with an O. Say after me. Porridge. If you wish to learn to speak properly, you will have to try much harder than that, Stacey Ann. Now sit down before you embarrass yourself anymore. During recess, I sit on a bench and I watch the girls play bat and ball. I listen to them shout to each other and I wonder if I really sound like that different from them. I ask if I can play. Everybody laughs when I speak. Wendy, the very tall girl with the gold earrings, dances around me. Look at the reddy bug. How your skin's a red, girl? You look like a mongoose. Afraid to leave my white fowl with your mongoose, girl. Miss Chin from Lottery is a big fat thief in mongoose that steals chicken from the chicken coop at night. Her other friends, Cheryl and Ava, join her. Wendy pulls me here and pushes me. They laugh and they push me. I want to answer, but I'm afraid they will make fun of how I speak. Every time I say something, Samantha whispers to Wendy. Wendy whispers to Cheryl, and Cheryl whispers to Ava. They all giggle and they all roll their eyes. I ask Samantha why she can't talk to me. Samantha is my cousin who is Aunt June's kid. So we all live in the same house. I ask Samantha, why you don't talk to me at school like you talk to me at home? Samantha, I'm just like the other girls, you know, except me is your cousin. How can you like somebody like Wendy better than your own cousin? Well, it's not like I really like her better than you, but she speaks much better than you. And her mother's always send things for her. What do you mean her mother send things for her? She don't live with her mother? No, her mother live in Kingston. So who is the one who carried her to school in the mornings? That is her father's wife. Her mother is married to a rich man in Kingston. And every week he sent a big package with all kind of nice things in it for her. And sometimes she give me some of the things. She's my best friend. So, if she don't like you, I can't like you either. October comes and Aunt June announces that Wendy's father has died of a heart attack. After 1 week, Aunt June tells the class that Wendy will not be coming back to Betheltown all-age school. Wendy has gone to Kingston to live with her mother. Aunt June makes us write a composition about Wendy. We each have to write down all the nice things we remember about her. We have to pretend she's still here so we could say those nice things to her. I don't want to write nothing nice about Wendy. I'm glad she's gone. I wish I could leave and go back to Lottery where we lived before. All these girls hate me and I don't hate them. I just don't know how to make any of them like me. All they do is tease me. Ava corners me at recess. Stacey Ann, Samantha say your mother run away and leave you. It's true? I choose my words carefully. I know she's just waiting for me to say something so she can run and tell all the other girls what I say. I want to say something that will make her want to be friends with me. No, I say. She never run away. In fact, she just got a big job in Canada. And now, she's just saving up money to bring me and my brother over there too. So when you're leaving then, Miss Big Shot, I can see she doesn't believe me. For your information, Miss Abigail Rogers, I am leaving in exactly 1 week. I wasn't going to say anything to any of you because I don't want any of you to ask me to send any American things for you when I get there. Her attitude changes immediately. I should also tell you that we're hearing nothing from my mother. Radio silence from Canada. Her attitude changes immediately. Look, Stacey Ann, I never really do anything to you, you know. So you can't be vexed with me. Anyway, your mother buy your ticket already? Yes, she buy it already, so you better tell everybody about that. Them should tell me all the nice things about me now, because after me gone, it will be too late. During lunch, Ava tells me she loves my hair. Cheryl says that I have very nice skin. When I respond to their compliment, I speak English, like the English the American children speak on TV. The girls all give me presents at lunch. Grater cake, drops, gizzada, every kind of homemade coconut candy. I collect colored pencils, crayons, coloring books, lollipops, everything that is offered. That afternoon, Samantha tries to tell Ava and Cheryl that I am actually lying, but I tell them she's just jealous and that her mother is only from Betheltown, and that means she's never going to go anywhere. All the girls want to sit next to me. I have the best day in school. I'm so happy when we get home that I don't even know about it when Aunt June tells me to change into my house clothes and come straight to the veranda. I slip out of my uniform and skip along to her. But then my heart sinks in my chest when she stands up and asks me why I have been telling lies to the other children at school. Her lips are tightly pursed as she waits for my answer. I want to tell her that the lie that I tell was actually a good lie. I want to say that because of that lie, the girls didn't laugh at me this afternoon. I can see from the set of her jaw that she isn't interested in any of that. I hang my head and I tell her I really don't know. I don't know why I lied. She calls Grandma inside and she tells her, you know this little girl is a disgrace. She sends me for Uncle Howard's police belt. The strap of plastic is cool and hard against my palm. Without the detachable buckle, both ends of the belt are flat and smooth. My hand shakes when she takes the belt from me. Before she begins, she grabs my arm and tells me that she is about to do this only for my own good. I am so frightened I feel like I'm going to wet my panties. I'm not quite sure what she's going to do with the belt. She pulls me to her and says that only the word of God can save me from the pitfalls of a lying tongue. Then she raises the belt and warns me, don't you make a sound. Whack! Lying lips are an abomination unto the Lord. Whack! Train up the child in the way he should go. Whack! And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Whack! Spare the rod and spoil the child. Whack! It's not only what goes into the mouth that defiles you, but what comes out of it. Whack! 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 I cannot contain myself. Lord Jesus Christ Almighty, Aunt June, I beg you, please, 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 please stop. Stop taking the Lord's name in vain. Whack! Oh God, oh God, oh God, Aunt June, please, please, please. I said to shut up your mouth and stop bawling like an old hooligan. Whack, please, no, Aunt June, please. If you want me to stop, whack, stop that everlasting cow bawling. Whack! The bell descends again and again and again. I swallow the screams until the only sound is a slapping of leather hard against my bare brown legs. Words I did not know are bouncing off in the walls in my head. You are a dirty old bitch, Aunt June. I wish I never come to live in your damn house. I wish you would just drop down dead and in the road and have black junker birds just come and pick out your I hope you go straight to hell and the devil beat you in your asshole 10 times worse than you're beating me now. I hate Aunt June. I hate her so much that I ask God to give her a heart attack like Wendy's father. I force myself to ignore the stinging belt and I think again of the gifts from my schoolmates, telling myself I don't give a goddamn about those licks and Christ and abomination. I tell her all this. I can tell all the stories I want. I can tell all the stories I want. I can tell all the stories I goddamn want.
You know, they not invite if you come back at them place. Because the amount of warning me get for one little missing. You are expressing fabric and all those things for the people them podium.
I'm not salaried.
Hello, sweetheart. I'm getting as much pay as him. All right, put your hands together for all our artists. For the interest of time, we're not going to set up a complete tinting up here of chairs and all that. Could all the writers just come forward, please? Two pan one side, two, right? Two pan. Yeah, two on this side, two on this. Oh yes, we should just invite the visual artists as well, right? Could you all just come forward right as well?
Excuse me. Can we take a picture of all of them?
All right, so just pick a side. In half and balance, yes, yeah.
It is balanced now.
No, over there, so it's a smaller half. Yeah.
If they include you, then we're
All right. So, again, thanks to the Consulate of Jamaica in New York, the Consul General, and the organizers for this evening's tremendous program. A taste of Jamaica, Jamaica's stories, and the Jamaican diasporic reality. And one of the things that I found interesting in the stories, the plays, the books, one, they were written by women, and today being the end of Women's History Month, it may be apropos, but a lot of these stories are tremendously dark, way dark, of abuse, of sexual abuse, of psychological abuse, of physical abuse. These stories aren't new. From the time they happened to you to now, do you perceive that anything has changed in our society? And if so, if not, what can be done? Stacey, and we go around. All right, you want me to go? One I want to have a chat first.
Well, I have to say that, even though I didn't read about it tonight, much of my work has to do with, gender and sexuality. And, my bone of contention largely with Jamaica is that I came out as a lesbian and was on HBO and Oprah talking about it, and I got into a lot of trouble from a lot of Jamaicans who wanted to quiet that voice.
Okay.
And I want to say, though, that I'm 44 now, and I moved here when I was 24. And when I came out on campus and the kind of violence and backlash that happened, and the kind of even the people now who I can tell that I'm not completely comfortable with the lesbian thing, I can see that they're trying, or that they know that they're not supposed to say stupid. You know what I mean? But I can feel them so there's definitely, and I go back now and there's there are lots more people. I think I was the first lesbian to come out in the media and say I'm a lesbian, and now there's lesbians all over the place, gay people. All I'm saying is that much has changed, because there are many groups. There's a group on campus that meets, and even my Pentecostal auntie, who when I came here and was living in her house, and she kicked me out because she hear I'm gay.
Okay.
Then she's correcting my mother that you can't call her friend. You have to say our partner is partner themselves.
Okay.
So much has changed.
Much has changed. Your book was, you had made mention of the fact that you were raped by your mother's friend.
Her friend's daughter sent me.
Your mother's friend's daughter set you up for this rape situation. But your mother's reaction was to put you out.
Right. She didn't ask who, what, where, when, where, how.
Okay. She just knows say you're.
I'm pregnant.
Well, in our case, you're breed, and come out. But you also made mention of the fact that you're now friends with your mother.
She's my best friend.
How did that process happen? Because in many ways, one of the concerns I have with regard to all abuse is that they are facilitators. Yep. So you make mention of your Pentecostal auntie, grandmother, who at one point did a bonfire upon you. and have come around. In your case, you're pains to say that it's your mother's friend who did the setup, but it was your mother also turned around and tell you to come out.
Right, but my mom and I, our relationship was never strained.
Even when she told you to come out of her house?
Even when she told me to come out.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm often of the belief that she gave me life.
Okay.
And what I did with it, that was up to me.
All right.
So I never really had a strained relationship with my mom.
Okay.
She was diagnosed last year with colon cancer.
Okay.
And she's battling that issue.
Are you going to be there?
And I am there 100%.
Uh-huh.
I believe that when you forgive someone, and she has asked me several times to forgive her, and truthfully, let the truth be told, there's nothing to forgive her for. I really believe that I had to go through that process.
Okay.
I believe it molded me and prepared me for my purpose.
All right. The other two ladies referenced the possibility in your books of abortion. Am I correct?
No, mine.
In yours of abortion.
You don't really have enough time to wake up the argument, you know,
No,
because
no.
abortion is every woman's right, and I have to say that.
No,
I
take nobody right or they wrong.
Before we go there, so make sure you have time for the argument.
Okay. You reference abortion, and both of you reference
My issue is pregnancy.
illegitimate oppression.
Finding out she was pregnant through ordeal.
Okay, but the abortion thing and also the thing of herbs and spirituality, which most of we call obia, and in hushed tones, and things that we don't normally talk about in general discourse. In terms of writing it down, what was that process like to be able to say it, to give voice to those beliefs and practices?
I think it's a part of our culture and a part of our heritage, and so you can't focus on all the paradise pieces of it. You have to focus also, talk about the other pieces of our culture, because it's all of us. Everything is all of us, and so it wasn't difficult to do. I think it's very, very interesting. We're a very multifaceted, very complex people. We have a very complex history, and I think we should celebrate all parts of it.
For me, it was easy because my family is Poco, Zion.
Okay.
From St. Thomas.
Go on, Miss Eatat. Anybody else from St. Thomas? Portland? Yes. And claim it. Yes. Because one of the things we keep maligning people in St. Thomas and Portland because they're rapid and beat drum. As if to say those of us from the corporate area who go to high church in the morning, no hold up on the communion wafer and go rap head at night time and put it and write people name on the wafer and put in our shoes and do all sorts of things. Yes, we will talk. Alright, we will talk. In terms of parchment paper too, with red ink, foul blood, but we will discuss those things after. It's alright. And if you touch me, I touch your back. In terms of and we're wrapping the visual artists. We did touch with regard to what you use, but in terms of themes, are there particular themes that you explore in your work? Apart from you who just try to catch money and catch man with your jewelry,
But I have
attract, not catch, attracts money and attracts wealth and that sort.
But we also have for protection and healing because of all this abuse that has been covered in here.
Okay.
Please understand that there's something for everything, and energies are within everything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're going to have a barnyard in here tonight. Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, my perspective is that the visual, the arts, generally, and particularly the visual arts, is central to our human existence.
Okay.
Because from the first early human beings who painted on caves, after they discovered to control fire.
But fear work. Not book so far.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about my work.
Okay.
So, because my favorite medium is charcoal.
Okay.
What I'm getting to is that when humans discovered fire, to control fire, the byproduct of burning wood was charcoal. Charcoal became the central drawing material for humans, early humans. And early humans created realistic images. So from 28,000 years ago, or earlier, we've been doing realistic work on caves. All right? And it was a survival skill. Because sometimes we're not in an environment that had vegetation. You had to hunt. So you had to have images that even the kids could recognize. That when you're playing outside, they could say, hey, food.
The early version of Instagram. Yes.
Right? So this is, that's how we're in the 21st century. With digital imagery, but we still require art.
Okay, all right. Cool. Themes in your work?
Themes. I don't have any particular theme.
Okay.
I just express vibrations as they come to me. But I'd like to express a little bit on what Mr. said. I think artists are the first shamans.
Okay.
And shamans are the first priests. Okay, so by being able to illustrate the animals on the cave walls, they were materializing or visualizing their hunt.
Okay.
And so they were, by visualizing it, they were able to materialize the hunt to make it successful. And this is what they believe. So the artist was not only an artist, but he was a pragmatic aspect of society who helped to make things happen.
And certainly part of the pragmatic aspect of society that we have all embraced from the beginning is the drum. And thanks, Jeremiah, for being part of this exercise.
Yes, thank you, and thanks to everybody. And for the sister from the revival, St. Thomas, and all the way who go through with tribulations and things, we have a little chant to say, we never get
weary yet.
So we can chant it.
No, right now, hold on. We do it before we do. Any questions from the audience? Yes, they have food out our door. I mean, no, enough of you came here primarily to enjoy the art, but may want to participate in of the refreshment. So we won't hold much around. But any questions from the audience? All the way in the back. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm an artist myself. My name is Jerry Stewart, and I'm supporting the art. So we need everyone in here that can collect a piece of the art.
Okay.
It's very important to have something in their house that they can reflect what is going on in life and what is going on in society as an artist.
Cool, thank you. In whatever medium. So whether it's the visual or the written, and Jeremiah, do you have a CD of your work?
Yeah, man, acting, yeah.
You see, and you see that becomes part of the problem, huh? Because I think it was you who say that you have a book or you was a filmmaker, and you say yes, and you say you have a CD, but you have a CD. No, it's a business. It's a, they have to eat. Correction, we have to eat. And a lot of times that part somehow don't transmit from on our side here to Funo side over there. That is a little bit more than just the ticket. If you come in and come out and say nice, 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 or worse yet, the support and the exposure. I have been so exposed over my life. But a little bit more, But thanks for coming out. Anything else over there, so?
I want to implore everyone that if they are part of any organizations or what have you, get their information and send out the information to their members to make their members privy and aware of what took place tonight. And if they want to reach out to these artists and so forth, to purchase their products or goods, they'll be able to do that.
Everybody must hire this man as their agent. And apparently don't work for much. Yes, ma'am.
Women writers, I love that you're speaking so much of what has not been able to be spoken about, writing about it, etc. I want to know if you've heard of the Tambourine Army.
Yes.
And then what is it?
Right, men, go look it up. Google Tambourine Army.
No, but you see, but we in
It's a group of women, an organization that has dedicated themselves to dealing with sexual assault and sexual violence in Jamaica. There's a big hullabaloo about like the arrest of one of the co-founders in Jamaica right now. Just get on your phone and Google Tambourine Army and just catch up on it. There's it's the case was postponed today. Enough drama. Read it.
But apparently there is an ongoing problem. And problem is problem. of assaults on women in Jamaica.
It's
It's global.
It's global.
It's
It's global.
global.
But this particular effort is in Jamaica, and we're on Jamaican soil right now. So we're dealing with a problem, a fluid problem, and it needs to be addressed and addressed head on. Despite our tremendous headway in terms of, we've had a woman Prime Minister, woman Supreme Court Judge, woman now me here might cut on police chief. Bad things are happening in our society, and we need every well-thinking person to be part of that conversation. Yes, sir.
Yes, I just want to ask my friend Victor to express, have a little view on some of his work that he has hanging around here, because I find it to be very beautiful. And I want to get...
You seem like you're push Victor.
Yeah, I'm pushing, but I want to get some a little expression of some of the work and what it means to him and what he was trying to...
On one piece.
On one piece?
Yes.
Let's try this one right here.
Okay, apparently that is the one you want to sell. Okay. Come, Victor.
Come, Victor.
That's an abstract piece. It's abstract nude. It's actually, I was searching for a particular personal way to express my art. Much has to be said for an artist who finds his voice.
Okay.
Finding your voice is finding a particular style that one can recognize and then say, this is Victor's work, you know. And so I was searching for that. And so this is part of the first piece. I was trained, I went to Hunter College, and I was trained as a realist artist. Okay, and so it took me years to break away from the realism and into abstract, because I think abstraction is more fundamental as art. You know, our ancestors were abstract artists. Okay? And European abstract art is rooted in African abstract art. Okay. So when I realized that, I started moving towards abstract expressionism. Okay, and so that was the first piece that I tried to open up and just release, you know, energies.
Cool.
Okay, and what followed were these other pieces with the.
Okay. Remember, I said one, just one,
Okay.
just one.
No,
Thank you.
no.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here this evening. You have tremendously more questions to engage the artists with, and I would imagine you have money to engage them with as well. And therefore, please patronize. They're around the room, and I think the books are being sold in the outer area. Just to introduce them again, Jeremiah on drums. Come again? Victor Blois, visual artist. Dion Peart, writer. Stacey Ann Chin, writer. We can't find it. Carly Richardson, writer. Tilsa Wright is a writer. Gianna Fakure is a jeweler, and Winston Higgins, also visual artist. Thanks to the Consul General and the Consulate for hosting us this evening. They done?
Yes.
I just want to say,
oh, okay.
I want to applaud the Consul General and her staff.
Yes. Again, thank you all. Is there anybody coming to rap, or we just rock on?
No, actually, you said what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So, thank you, everybody. And as I mentioned earlier, this is just the beginning of lots more to come for Jamaica 55. It's from now until next year, January. They'll celebrate it in Jamaica next month until next year, March. But for New York, it's now until January. Please support each and every one of these artists. Well, they're all artists in their own right. Looking forward to your support. And again, thanks for being here. Have a good evening.
There's a good friend of mine told her on campus, God, Stacey, in Africa.
Hi, I'm Dion Peart. I'm here at the Consulate General of Jamaica for the Literary Arts Salon, and I'm here promoting two of my books. My first novel is Somerset Grove, which is a story set in Jamaica, and the second novel is Butterfly, which is a story about a first-generation Caribbean-American attorney. I started writing my first book when I was practicing law in private practice, and so I started about 2009, and I would write early in the morning before I started practicing law. So a little bit more about my first book. It is a story that's set between Jamaica and Canada, and it features three main characters, Ruby Wright, Angelique, and Carmen, and they are three women who each dream of leaving their small town existence in Jamaica, but each encounters obstacles that get in the way of her fulfilling her dreams. So the story switches back and forth in between the three characters' points of view, and it also goes back and forth in time from the 40s until the 80s. My advice to anyone who wants to start writing but hasn't done it is to start writing. The first step is to just sit down and just go with it. Whether you want to do a short story or a novel, just keep writing and keep doing it every day. Make it a part of your daily practice. Read a lot of different authors, read the ones that really inspire you, and then just go for it. How you can contact me, I have a website, www.dionpeart.com. That's DIONNEPEART. And my books are also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Carleen Richardson. We're at the literary event at the Consulate General of Jamaica. And I'm the author of From Gutter to Glory. I am a professor of healthcare administration, and I'm also the assistant dean at a 2-year private college. I started writing in my teens, mostly poetry. And then after my experience here, which influenced the writing of From Gutter to Glory, I started back writing in the early 2000s when my college professor suggested that in order to, it was something therapeutic. And so she suggested that I started journaling. And I would say I started writing professionally in the early 2000s. My background, my heritage, I am from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and my parents both migrated here to America, hence the reason I am in America. The factors that influenced me writing From Gutter to Glory, I came from Jamaica when I was about 15 years old, and approximately 5 months later, I was raped. I was put out by my mom. However, she took me back in. But when my daughter was about 8 months old, she told us we had to go. We lived on the train for several months before shacking up with my daughter's godmother. Unfortunately, we couldn't stay there too long. She passed me over to my cousin in Brooklyn, and he gave us a partially abandoned building to call home. And these are the factors that influenced the writing of From Gutter to Glory. How can someone who is experiencing the same issue overcome? Determination, never losing focus, but more importantly, finding the inner strength. For me, my inner strength came from my daughter. After I was raped, I found out I was pregnant, and I kept the baby. And it was my baby who motivated me to go from day to day. And so I would tell someone who's experiencing something similar to find that place of inner strength. My other books, yes. I wrote Little Red, The Insurance Dilemma, and that was influenced by the fact that I teach. I'm a professor of healthcare, and I found out that each semester I had to write a lot on the whiteboard, the terms and the concepts, and I found that it was a little challenging for my students, especially those who without any healthcare background. And so I decided if I could pair the current knowledge with knowledge that they already have of Little Red Riding Hood and use the grandmother as a point of reference to discuss Medicare and Medicaid, the insurance of, that we have here in America, then I think learning would be more effective. And it was proven it is more effective. Where can the book be bought? Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And if you would like to contact me, I am on Facebook at Dr. Carleen Richardson. I'm on Instagram, the official Dr. K. Richardson. And I'm also on LinkedIn, Dr. Carleen Richardson. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Tilsa Wright, and today I'm here at a Jamaica Consulate promoting my book, Lady in Red. Lady in Red. Now, it was the storyline basically takes place in Brooklyn. The main character, she's Spanish Jamaican, and my book is available at Amazon and Kindle, so make sure you get a copy. I also have music pertaining to the book. Hip-hop artist Hattie Rax recorded a song titled Everything Big. It's available on all digital platforms, iTunes and Amazon. Be sure to get a copy of the book and also buy the music. Is this my first book? No, it's not. It's my third title. However, this is the first book that's actually getting a lot of momentum in the streets of Brooklyn and also the Bronx. So, thanks for your support.
So what was your first book?
My first book was Related Affairs that has basically a Jamaican gay storyline. My second book, it was titled Starboy, Cricket Wicket, he knows how to stick it. And that's also available. All three books are available on Amazon. What inspired me to start writing was basically being around a lot of creative people, a lot of people in the arts. A fellow author encouraged me to write, so I just have the bug and I write. It's creativity cannot be really contained. I'm inspired by music, so I always listen to music to get in the zone to basically write my stories. I started writing maybe like 8 years ago. 8 years ago. Where in Jamaica I'm from, I grew up in Harborview on Kingston 17, right by the airport right there. So, and I've been living in New York for the past like 21 years. And I'm still young, I'm not telling you my age.
So, do you intend to like make your book into a movie?
Certainly, but it's going to be a very slow process. I have to build up an audience. You know, the whole business technicality of building an audience and numbers and all that good stuff. Most definitely, I love to. Right now, we have music. I have a hip-hop artist from the Bronx. His name is Hattie Rax. He recorded a song titled Everything Big. It's available on iTunes and all digital platforms. We are in about a couple weeks, we're going to film the music video for that song. So slowly but surely, I will get it on film. My social media contact is very simple. It's my full name, Tilsa Wright. So you look me up on Instagram, it's Tilsa Wright. Facebook, Tilsa Wright. Twitter, Tilsa Wright. And you can also email me at tilsawright@yahoo.com.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Gianna Fakuri from the original Arm Candy, and I have been doing my bracelet line for about 1.5 years, and everything comes packaged like a candy, complete with nutrition facts on the back. and we make the bracelets with all sorts of materials: woods, gemstones, acrylics, crystals, glass, just about anything I can get my hands on. And I design them in Jamaica. We make them in Jamaica, and we're trying to go global now. So this is my first show ever outside of Jamaica, and I have to thank the Consulate General of Jamaica for hosting me. And yeah, we did pretty good. We also have now the Jamaica edition box because we are celebrating Jamaica 55, and so we decided to rock our colors for this one.
What's your favorite?
My favorite gemstones for me is the prehnite, which I wear a lot of. It's a stone that's said to attract money, so I really love that. I love the pyrite as well because it's for strength and all sorts of good stuff. The men really like the pyrite as well when it's not as glittery, when it's more matte. For the men, I love lavas because men are always coming up to me thinking that they can't wear a bracelet or a beaded bracelet might be too feminine, and the lava stones are rugged and rough and ready for them. My most popular piece is probably my signature wood bracelets. They come with turquoise and prehnite and rose quartz. It's just a wood bracelet with one piece of gemstone in it. That's probably my most popular because people buy them the most for gifts and people like to stack them up, but they don't ask for that one the most. I think they request mostly the prehnite or the lava. Oh yes, please follow me on Instagram. You can follow two pages. One is at Gianna Fakuri or at The Original Arm Candy. And we have a website, www.theoriginalarmcandy.com, and we have a Facebook page, The Original Arm Candy by Gianna Fakuri. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Winston Huggins. I'm here at the Consulate, and we had a great event here with art and visual arts and literary arts, and it was a great time. I got into art by drawing. Started out by drawing. And drawing was so good, I started to paint. And that's how it began. Well, one of the first items I drew was my mother's Singer sewing machine. And it looked real. And it was drawn on a paper napkin. And that was good experience.
Okay, and what's your favorite object to draw?
Favorite object? I don't have a favorite object, but one of my favorite objects are the landscape, natural landscape, and the female form, and other than that, imaginary and things from memory. Yeah, I'm a graphic artist also. Yes, I train as a graphic artist, so that's part of my training.
Okay, so tell us a little bit, those who don't know the difference between the computer drawing and regular hand drawing. Tell us a little difference.
Well, it's just another tool. A computer is another tool that allows you to do what humans have been doing from creation, from drawing on caves with charcoal. That's all it is. You can contact me by contacting info@optimalart.com, winstonhuggins.com.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.